Ballyhaunis is a small market town in the west of Ireland, population maybe about 3,000 people. It's as rural and traditional a place as you could get in Ireland. The idea of people coming here was bizarre. Now the town is maybe the most cosmopolitan small town in Ireland. Actually, it is the most cosmopolitan small town in Ireland.
We have been a very sheltered society before that. Seldom seen any foreigners.
Come on!
A lot of people, when I'm talking to them, they all think that I was born here with the accent and everything, you know.
How many different nationalities? Well, like off the top of my head, just Russian, Polish, Lithuanian, Syrian, Pakistani, Ivory Coast, Congo. I think I counted up 14 one day.
Ballyhaunis! Ballyhaunis, come here!
Today's the county final. This is as big as it gets really in the GA. You're going to get a right battle here today, hopefully.
And a hearty welcome to our neighbours touring on this lovely summer's day.
Okay, boys, out one side. Okay, shake it out, shake it out. That's what the crowd will love, you see. This action-packed game, this drama, this local drama.
The national game of Ireland is hurling. It somewhat resembles hockey, but is played on a field like football. A hard and fast game where no quarter is asked or given. As the scoreboard marks the standing in Gaelic, a goal brings a big hand from the younger fans.
What I'd love to see the youngsters, the Polish kids, Lithuanian kids, the Pakistani kids, the Syrian kids, the African kids. I'd love to see some of the faces here today.
Once upon a time, everyone went to Mass, certainly here 20 years ago, but that's not the case anymore. And the role of the GA in a town like this, simply couldn't be overstated, is central to the town. It's so the root of what makes a community like this cohesive.
Ballyhaunis, the best lads in this town.
The reason we need to integrate people is that we're losing our own. Oh, we've suffered. Especially for the last 10 years, we've lost an great number of young people. There has been the economic recession. They went off in Australia. They're everywhere.
The west of Ireland has been exporting people since the famine, in huge numbers. The idea of inward migration, it would have been something people would have known nothing about. I think the mosque was built in the 70s. A west of Ireland town with a mosque was not the norm, to say the least. I think it was the only purpose-built mosque in Ireland at the time. They had a meat factory here which made halal meat for export. So there was always a Pakistani and a Syrian community here. The expansion of the European Union, suddenly you had really, really high numbers of Eastern European people living here all the time. Later that decade, there was an influx of people from Africa, and a lot of them were in the refugee centre. This integration is a really important thing. The GA Club is really, really all involved. But outside of that, you don't see a push. You see several groups of people who don't know each other and, kind of are not really killing themselves to get to know each other,
Oh, great!
There's 330 children up in Scollisa. But 2/3 of them, as a teacher said to me one day, which just threw me back, 2/3 of them don't speak English as their native language when they go home, okay? So that's the challenge we face. That's why we need the Polish, the Lithuanians, the Pakistanis, all these guys. If they don't come training, we won't have teams.
Attackers, you go back in here. Defenders, you go get your ball. So you're coming in this time. And attackers, are you ready? Yeah. Defenders, are you ready? Yeah. Defend! Watch your steps. Steps, John Donlan. Up the bar, yeah, 3.
I'm from Malawi.
Okay.
When I heard about Gaelic football, I had to ask, what is it? Oh, I only knew soccer. Oh, he loves it. It's very good.
Oh, that's great pressure. That's it. Well done, Tommy. Well done. Get in.
I moved back from Dublin. I was at the stage where I was half my life away from my own town. And it's like you never left. It's like the mafia. You can't get out of it.
Right, let's do it. In time close, that's it.
It's the social fabric of the town. I want to be living in Ballyhaunis for the rest of my days. I love going up to the school or being at the supermarket and the Polish lady, I don't know her name, smiles at me and says, oh, hello. They know me because of this. Because of this club and that. I like that.
Solos out. Turn.
Yeah. Well, when I moved here, I was like seven, so I didn't even know English, never mind playing anything until I was like 10 or 11, and then I started playing when I was 11 with the club. When I was 14, I was playing for Mayo in goal. From first when they see it, they wouldn't know how to react to stuff, and then once I started talking, they'd be like, Jesus, where'd you get that accent? So it's gas like that, catch it. I just got really into it, and all the boys from school, we all started becoming good friends, and you have another group of really strong friends then, because you had your own community and everything was grand. But then when you play GA and you play with the other boys in the team, so they're all sound as well. It's not for any soft lads, tough lads going at each other. Some lads will be always like, oh, you don't know what you're missing, you should be doing this and that. And I'm like, no, I just respect my culture and stuff like that. And I have the crack, I don't need to drink to have banter. I'm grand where I am, so it's good. If the other boys you think are going to make an effort towards you, you have to kind of make an effort as well. Because it's not all one-way traffic, yourself.
When the Pakistanis came in first in the 1970s, and they integrated very successfully. Now there are probably at least 20 languages. We're trying to integrate the new people into the club and into the community. Club and community. They have the same problems, they face the same challenges. You take 20 strangers, 20 groups that don't know one another. How many combinations have you there before they form a community?
So who can start off and tell me a little bit of the story of Cuchulainn? What was he very good at?
He was good at hurling.
Okay, so he left home, didn't he?
Yeah.
And how old was he when he left home, can you remember?
5 years old.
And what things did he bring with him when he left home?
A javelin stick, a spear, a hurley and a slitter.
Very good. About 1/3 of the population of the school here would have been new Irish children, shall we say. It was a huge shock. And it took a while for the people of the area to get used to it as well. But down the line, it's probably one of the best things that did ever happen. And I think the local children would have learned hugely from it.
Yes, Eilish, nice puck. Yeah!
Children that are living in direct provision, it's very difficult for them.
What do you want? What do you want it? What do you want? What do you want it? What do you want?
Phenomenon, I think, dates back to the mid-90s. That was the first time I was aware of refugees coming here. How Ireland has dealt with it has been horrible. The direct provision system is awful. This system that they're thrown into where they can't work, where they're just in limbo for years.
There was a great desire to do something for the children. People could see the situation families were in and recognise that there was very little that could be done to help the adults. But in terms of the children, people were determined to make all of the children who lived in our town feel just like the other children who live here.
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Very good. Yeah.
You know, we had no real input with the asylum community in the convent. They were there, but we didn't know them. We knew that there was potential players there for us.
Oh, my little fella, Desmond, the one over there, the one who just jumped there. You know, when they kick the ball, sometimes I'm afraid that the ball will go to his face. You'll be having some injuries, but it's okay. I'm from the Ivory Coast. When you arrive in your mind, maybe your case would take, let's say, 3 or 6 months. I was in the direct provision for almost 6 years before I was granted leave to remain. 6 years. How was the day today?
Good.
No spelling today?
Oh yeah, I do.
How many spelling?
I don't know.
You didn't check. Were you playing the class?
A lot.
A lot. Oh. For myself, I was getting €19.10, and my child was getting €9.50 every week. The bad thing was I couldn't work. I was not allowed to work. That was the big problem. Desmond is a Ballyhaunis boy. When I asked him if you have to move out of Ballyhaunis, he would say, no, mommy, here is my place. I don't know anywhere else. And now I love Ballyhaunis. It's like my village now.
Mike there was in for rakes of points and scores. There was brilliant stuff, great blocks. He got in 2 or 3 brilliant blocks. Absolutely brilliant.
Go on, Mike. Come on, AD, that's it. No, 15, and then the other team.
You see my 2 young fellas playing with Mike there, you know. That's normal now in this town, you know. All the different nationalities playing alongside each other.
Who would you like to play for?
Ballyhaunis. I like to play for Mayo and Galway. Why would you play for Galway? Imagine if Mayo was playing against Galway. Which one would you pick? I'll half myself.
No, I'm not a social worker, you know what I mean? And I'm not a politician. Neither is anyone else in this club, you know? We can't take on the burden of, this big spectrum, you know what I mean, of solving all life's problems. It's not nirvana, you know what I mean? Because to tell you the truth, it's hard work. Set up and keep it as tight as you can. Yeah, even down lower, yeah, but tight, pull it tight, yeah. Tomorrow it's going to be the result of 5 weeks of hectic action, really. So we're given more or less a little taste of what goes on in the club and the makeup of the club and the community spirit and the community cooperation. I think we're going to get a crowd tomorrow. I really hope that car park is going to be full.
You've lads from Africa, you've lads from Pakistan, lads from travelling communities, you've the Irish boys, and just there's 4 different set of people. And like, if you think they all can come together and play and enjoy it, and they could be good friends, like, why can't older people look at that as an example? It's great to see them happy and playing together.
You know, that's what it's great to see. You know, no matter who they are, where they come from, they're all Ballyhaunis kids playing for Ballyhaunis.